Monday travel motivation. There isn't going to be the music going on because my days I'm barely here. My mind is struggling to think through. But because I always keep my promises, and this is one of my goals for this year, always to be committed and to be consistent, I'm here. And it's a great day outside. It's a very sunny day. This is a mess, but it's alright. You should be used to it by now. Like, especially with lives, with everything. It's real. Anyway, so as you can see from the title, it is wondering versus planning. And why is this going to be a motivational video? Because I want to try to do the same kind of like process that I've done to myself when I was being too hard on myself, to actually take a decision whether I should wonder and whether I should plan it out. What is wondering really? Have you ever heard about wanderlust? All these kind of terms around this word. Basically, it is just enjoying in the moment and being spontaneous and just going with the flow and see what happens. This is how I define, for instance, wandering. It's just a feeling of freedom where anything can happen, but you're open to anything and any situation, and then you'll just decide in the moment. Where planning clearly is about being more like organized. You kind of have a schedule, you have a plan in your mind, you write it down wherever you feel more comfortable with doing that, but basically you have an idea of how things will go throughout your trip. And I'm a very spontaneous person in general in my life, so I tend to wander a lot more than I do planning. But sometimes I will feel like that perhaps by planning I would have enjoyed, or like I would have experienced more things, especially when you're traveling for a very short period. I reckon that planning out in a very short period of time is probably more handy if you have, you know, limited time, so then you can see, probably you can experience as many things as possible. But don't get me wrong, because even like just being spontaneous, like I've been when I went to Vietnam for 5 days, I did not plan anything. I knew I wanted to go to Vietnam for certain reasons. One was food, very good, but I did not plan anything. And I remember just waking up in the morning. I remember there was a place where you could book some like tours and stuff like that, and I just went with the day, and I just went in and I was like, what have you got available for today? They looked at me like, well, for today? It's like, yeah, I've got nothing to do today. What can I do today, and what can I do tomorrow? So it worked out for me. It might not work out, but this is sort of like an adventurous way of traveling in a way. Obviously, stay responsible. But the whole point of this is I came to the conclusion that there isn't anything that is wrong or right. You just need to see what works for you. And this is the beauty of traveling, because you just need to see what works for you. And by doing that, you have to experiment. You have to probably do a bit of wondering and a bit of planning. Sometimes mix the both. Sometimes, I don't know, just come up with a new way that makes traveling customized around you. And that's how I reckon you'll get the best experience, because for me personally, it doesn't really matter a lot about whether I wander or whether I plan out. The only thing that matters for me when I'm traveling is transformation. So whenever I go somewhere, I want to come back different, but in a better version of myself. So anything that I will serve the purpose of that transforming myself into a better person, that will do. So I learned how to be more flexible about this and not being so hard on myself, because sometimes I would stop myself from planning just because I was like, no, I'm a spontaneous person, I shouldn't be planning, because otherwise this is going to ruin everything, it's going to ruin the whole trip. which is not true. It's just a different way of probably seeing, I don't know, the trip. So don't be too hard on yourself and just figure out your way and enjoy what happens. Enjoy the moment, enjoy the experience you're making. And how sick it is that you're actually somewhere else in the world. Like, this still surprises me whenever I go somewhere and I'm like, wait, hold on a minute. I'm not actually in Europe. I'm not actually in the UK right now. I'm actually on the other side of the world. And I picture myself that the globe, and I'm like, wait, I'm here on this. Can you figure that out? Like, can you imagine the globe? I do. Well, anyways, am I crazy? Maybe. I don't know. I hope this video helped you to start the week in a good way, and I wish you all the best. Enjoy your trips, the upcoming ones. Enjoy the new plan of a new trip, because that's also very exciting. Choosing where to go and choosing where to stay, who to go with, unless you want to go on your own, which is totally fine. Trust me. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on Sunday with some crazy posts that I found on Instagram about the world. And as always, have a great life. And I'm about to end this thing, which is always the usual stuff. I don't need to end this, but yeah. Subscribe if you're new. Bye!